Welcome to one more live class. And today, this live class will be a little bit different. First of all, let me know in the comments, in the chat, if you can see and hear me well, okay? Let's check that. And also, tell me what's your level of English, okay? If you can understand someone talking like I'm talking to you, or if you're a beginner. In this live class, I will talk about phrasal verbs, which is something people usually learn when they are in an intermediate level. Although many things about phrasal verbs could and should be learned by beginners. Of course, not a zero beginner, someone who's learning the basic things like do and does. But if you already have some knowledge of English, it's something worth learning. Okay, what I said, it's gonna be different in this live. It's because I wanna do it in English. I wanna explain what I have to explain about phrasal verbs in English. I don't know if this will work out well. Usually when I used to teach students in a class in my former English school, I used to speak English in class all the time when I was teaching intermediate students. Anyway, not always they would understand explanations of grammar or structure or certain things. But anyway, it was an opportunity for them to listen to spoken English. After all, people in Brazil, they usually don't have a lot of opportunities to listen to spoken English. Actually, you have like online, you can watch videos and so on, but people usually don't have the opportunity to listen to someone talking to them in English. And many times I see comments in my videos on the channel asking me to explain things in English, to make videos in English. I usually don't do that because I think the benefit of my videos is to explain things that students usually don't understand. And if I explain in English, I don't know if this will make any difference for them. It might be more complicated. But anyway, I also know that intermediate students usually are eager to listen to English, especially English they can understand, because sometimes native English is quite fast or with a lot of connections and reductions that most students can't understand. I've been explaining a lot about these reductions in other videos and live classes, okay? So this is a test. I want to know your opinion about this live, okay? So let's go through it. I will explain. I will not translate things, so I will try to explain in English the meaning of things, which is not very easy. But anyway, let's see what can come out of this test, okay? So first of all, what do you think of this idea? Is that too crazy? Okay, so also I will answer questions that are posted in English, okay? So let's make this deal. Anyway, you can have an opportunity to practice your English. Although you can't talk, I can't hear you, you can write. It's better than nothing, okay? So that's it. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so good morning to all of you. Cida, Alfredo, okay, everybody's listening. Intermediate, okay. Okay, welcome. It's better to hear English to learn it. Okay. Good. All right. So please do make comments in the chat and we're gonna try to carry on this in English. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about phrasal verbs, the logic behind phrasal verbs. Okay, first of all, phrasal verbs are combinations of verbs and a preposition. Okay, prepositions are words like in, out, on, off, away, back. There's a lot of prepositions. And in English, the structure of the language, they connect the verbs and the prepositions, and in many cases you can understand the combination if you understand the logic of how this works. Many times there are meanings behind the words, like figurative meanings, like a figure of speech. Okay, let me know if you don't understand something I say here, okay, because as you have a variety of different levels, I don't know what words I might be using that you might understand or might not understand. Okay, so these are phrasal verbs. They have many meanings. They are used extensively in English, in everyday conversations mainly. Although you can find phrasal verbs in all kinds of situations. Even scientific paper will have a few phrasal verbs because certain things, certain ideas are better expressed using certain phrasal verbs, okay? So, we're gonna talk about one in particular, which is, let me find the slides here, okay. We're gonna talk about in, combinations of verbs with in. Basically, when you want to have the idea of enter, okay, in everyday conversation, American, native speakers in general, don't use the word enter. They will use verbs with in. Motion verbs, okay, verbs that indicate a movement with in. And all these verbs, even if they are different verbs, like the ones you can see on my screen, go in, get in, crawl in, come in, run in, and so on. So all of these verbs, they mean enter. Okay, but enter, the verb to enter, is not widely used for everyday life. Okay, so for example, if someone knocks at the door here in my room, I could say to that person, hey, come in, come in. I would never say enter. Native speakers wouldn't use enter in an everyday situation, okay? You can use enter for certain specific meanings. It's not, it doesn't mean the word is incorrect. It's just that it's too formal for everyday life, okay? But you will see certain situations like enter your password. So in that situation, enter is the best word. When you have to put or to type your password, many people will say enter your password, okay? All right. So why are there so many different verbs with in? Because the idea here, the logic, is that in is the preposition that will indicate the direction of the movement. And the verb will indicate how the movement happened. What kind of movement was it? For example, if you're in a car, if you're driving a car, and you're going inside someplace with your car, the best verb for this situation would be drive in. For example, I don't know, I'm here in my home and I see someone drive in. So when I say drive in, it means the guy got inside a place driving, okay? I will give you sentences to be more clear. We also have the word into. I will talk about into in a few minutes. But the first part of this logic of phrasal verbs is that to say enter, I say with quotations, okay? People in everyday life, they will prefer to use a verb, a motion verb with in, okay? So if you, there's something else. The two verbs are very common, come in and go in. Both have the same meaning, but the direction of the movement is different. So if I'm inside and someone is outside, and that person wants to come inside, I would say come in. But if both of us are outside, and I want to tell that person, let's suppose it's my son, it's starting to rain, we are outside the home, and I would tell him, hey, go in, boy, go in, because it's starting to rain. Okay? Because we are here together, and I want him to go inside. So we say go in. If I am inside and you are outside, I would tell you come in. Okay? So we always have this direction difference between come and go. All right? Although in Portuguese we would translate with the same word. Okay, is that clear for you? Can you understand it? All right. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, I've been living in Ireland. Okay, some people from other countries. Okay, Welton, you understand what I'm saying? That's great. Gabriel, 1%. Okay, Gabriel. All right. As I said, it's a test. You have to let me know what you think about this, okay? If you like it, and I have views, because anyway, we work on YouTube, we need views. We need people to watch what we are doing. If people don't watch, we are not going to do it again, okay? All right. So let's continue. An example. The kids ran in because of the rain. The kids ran in, so they were running, and they got inside the house. Okay? So they entered the house running. But you see, a native speaker wouldn't say like entered the house running. In everyday life, they would say someone ran in. All right? This is the point. If I am explaining in English, I wouldn't translate the sentences. So that's a point, because if I mix Portuguese and English, I think it's quite messy, but you let me know if you think this would be a good idea, okay? Translating certain things, explaining in English something, other things, okay. Another example, I left the window open and a bee flew in. So the window was open and the bee flew in. Fly, the past of fly is flew. And when you fly inside a place, we say someone or something flew or flies in. Okay? So you choose a verb according to the movement, the kind of movement. So if you're talking about bees, birds, planes, things or animals that fly, you can use fly in instead of saying enter. If you're talking about driving something or enter driving, you would say drive in, and so on. One point here is that someone could ask, can't I say the bee came in or the bee got in? Yes, you can say that, no problem. You choose the verb. in general, native speakers will choose verbs that are related to the movement. But there is no problem if you say come in or get in, or you use other verbs, all right? As long as it makes sense, as long as you're explaining what happened, that's okay. Okay. Yeah, Nathanael is reminding people here to give a thumbs up, okay? Give me a thumbs up, that's very important for the video. Okay, like the video, okay? Thumbs up, it means like the video, okay? Hit the like button. Okay. The other example, she walked in and didn't say a word. So she walked in, she came in walking and didn't speak to anybody. All right? So walk in. Now we have the difference between in and into. The difference is very simple. Basically, you have to use into if you mention the place where you went. Okay? For example, he ran in. Okay? He came inside the house running. Now, if I mention the place like the house, I have to say he ran into the house. Okay? So if you mention the place, you have to say into. If you don't, you just stop at the word in. Run in, walk in, get in, if you don't mention the place. If you mention a place, you have to say get into the house, come into the room, run into the car, and so on. Okay? No translations. All right. I think it's better anyway. It's an opportunity for you to simulate you were in an English-speaking country or place where you wouldn't have Portuguese as an option. Okay? We have another example. He walked in, but he didn't see us. So he walked in, but he didn't see us. He walked into the room, but he didn't see us. It's the same sentence, but in the second one, I mentioned the place, the room. So in this case, I have to say walk into. You have to say into, all right? Because to would indicate you're going towards somewhere, okay? We have figurative meanings, okay, like figures of speech. When you say something, but you mean something else. Okay, this is called figurative meaning or figurative sense. Okay, what is that? For example, he ran into a tree. We have, as I can't translate in this video test, I'll try to explain this. We have the same in Portuguese. Sometimes we use our verb enter when we literally go inside a place, but sometimes we use it to say that a car hit a tree, for example. Like in this case, he ran into a tree. So it doesn't mean he literally got inside the tree, although it looks like he tried. But the real meaning is that he hit a tree. But they use like some verbs with in or into to mean that you hit a place. Like he ran into a tree means he hit a tree. You can also use verbs like he crashed into a tree. I think crashed into a tree is even more common because when you crash your car, it means you hit your car somewhere, you have an accident, and you can use he crashed into a tree, I crashed into a tree, I crashed into a lamppost. You know the lamppost where the lights are put on the streets. You have wires running on the lampposts, and sometimes drivers have an accident, they lose control of the car and they hit the tree. They crashed, the lamppost. They crash into lampposts. So you can use, he ran into a tree, he crashed into a tree, he drove into a tree. So in all these cases, we are talking about hitting the tree or a lamppost or whatever. So you see that not always the verbs have the real meaning, or the meaning is the literal meaning. Okay, sometimes you have meanings behind that, but that you can understand even if you translate the way you usually translate other verbs from this family, you could understand, okay, because we would use something similar in Portuguese. Yeah, as I said, he crashed into a tree or he drove into a tree. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is our course about phrasal verbs. I explained a little bit here about how to use phrasal verbs, how they work, but many people want to learn more. So if you are one of these people, if you want to learn more about the logic of phrasal verbs, how all phrasal verbs work, we created this course, The Logic of Phrasal Verbs. So this is a series of videos, video classes, where I explain each combination, like verbs with in, out, on, off, all the combinations. I explain the logic behind them so that you don't have to memorize one by one. And we also talk about the literal meaning, the figurative meaning, idiomatic meanings. In this course, we put a lot of real examples. So I watched a lot of videos in English to extract parts where native speakers were using those phrasal verbs. So this course came out really great. This is the inside of the booklet. There is a booklet. This is a booklet, okay? It's not a book, it's a booklet. Okay, this is what we call a booklet. And here you have all the content of the course. Okay, the course is in videos, and you have the content here as well to practice, to follow, okay, to study. You have all the content, you have exercises, examples, translations, so everything. As I said, this course can be done by intermediate students, but beginners would also learn a lot, even advanced students, okay? This is a screenshot I took from one of the videos inside the course, okay? Just to give you an idea, all right? This is a screenshot I took from one of the video examples, because we have a lot of videos which are excerpts of videos in English where native speakers are using the phrasal verbs I just explained in the course. Okay, so this is really great. So this course is intended for those people who want to master the phrasal verbs. Yeah, you want to master the phrasal verbs, you want to understand how they really work, this course is for you. If you want to multiply your vocabulary by 11 times or more, I say that because you probably know a lot of verbs already. And when you learn how phrasal verbs work, you multiply the number of words you can use and understand, talking about verbs specifically. So can you imagine multiply your vocabulary by 11, 12 or more times? Because each combination, each family of combination you learn, for example, today you learned how to use in with verbs. So many verbs you already knew, as you combine them with in, you have new meanings. And if you add up to figurative meanings, it can be multiplied even more. If you want to come closer to fluency, you really need to understand phrasal verbs, because that's the way people explain the situations of everyday life, okay? And if you understand how they work, it's much easier to be fluent, because being fluent is being able to explain reality as it really is without translating things. This course is also for those who want to understand native speakers in everyday life as they speak naturally. If you want to improve your speaking and listening skills, this is for you. But this course is not intended for those of you who are already fluent, and if you don't need to improve your English anymore, that's not a course for you. Or if you think that to learn phrasal verbs, you would have to memorize one by one. Some people believe that. They think it's better to memorize one by one. I don't think so, but if you are one of them, don't do this course. Don't take this course. Okay, what are you going to learn in the course? You're going to learn the logic on how to form the phrasal verbs, or how phrasal verbs are formed. So this will give you the ability to express yourself better and to understand exactly what native speakers are trying to say. You're going to understand how to use them in everyday life. You will start thinking in English, because to think in English is to use the logic of English to express ideas. It's not translating. Okay? There's no problem in translating as you're learning. Many times we have to do that, especially beginners. But if you want to go to the next level, you have to learn how to think as a native speaker. And this starts with phrasal verbs. And if you want to improve your fluency in general. This course includes the video classes you can watch in the comfort of your home as many times as you wish. Real examples, this is one of the best parts. I put a lot of excerpts from videos, movies, series, all kinds of content in English from native speakers, so you can hear real examples as they are used in real situations, okay? You will have access for 2 years, okay? Most courses, most online courses give you 1 year access. Here in the logic of phrasal verbs, you will have 2 years of access. What else? Oh, the booklet. This is the booklet. You will receive the file. It's inside the course, the PDF file, so you can download and print, and you're gonna have a booklet like this. Okay, very convenient. This course is divided into 5 modules. The first one, I explain in, into, out, and out of. How to work with phrasal verbs and combinations with these prepositions. Module number 2, we talk about up, down, on, and onto. Module 3, we talk about off, back, away, and away from. Module 4, I explain around, by, through, and across. In Module 5, we explain along with, over, how to separate phrasal verbs. So you must have seen that some phrasal verbs are separable, others are not. Some are separable in some situations, in others not. So I explain how these things work. Multiple combinations. It's very common to use verbs with 2 prepositions, even 3. But 2 is very common. You will hear people saying like, come on in, on and in at the same time. Or Someone went in through the window. So we have combinations of verbs and two prepositions. And as I said, the real meaning, like the literal meaning, figurative meaning, and idiomatic meaning. Well, just to give you an idea, a traditional course, if you call any English school and get the prices, for a basic course, it's not a course about phrasal verbs, which is something you will not find in an English school. You will find basic courses. So a basic course for 1 year would cost around 6,000 reais. Okay, that's what you would pay for the course and material for 1 year, of course. Here, the logic of the phrasal verb with the booklet, all the videos. We have bonuses inside the course. For 2 years access, you will pay 12 of 149.41. Okay, 12 installments of 149 reais 41 cents. Okay, or 1,497 cash. Okay, 1,497. Okay, if you pay cash. But you can divide on your credit card. We use the Hotmart platform, so they have different forms of payment. So you can, if you use a credit card, you can divide up to 12 times. Okay, 12 installments. That's the word we use, installments. When you buy something and you divide, each part is an installment. But there's something special for you today, only for you guys who are listening to me here live. Only today, from 1,497 for only 12 installments of 69 and 56. 69 reais and 56 cents, 12 times. Or if you prefer to pay cash in one installment, you would pay 697 reais. Okay? Yeah, a special promotion only today for you who are listening, who are following this live class. All right? There's a link below, okay, where you can buy the course. Just click on the link. You will be redirected to a page where you can choose the best form of payment, and you can start your course today. All right? We offer unconditional guarantee for 7 days. So if you buy the course today, you have 1 week to start your course. And if at the end of this week you think the course is not for you or you didn't like in some way, you can just send a message and ask for a refund. Okay, we will give you back everything you paid, no problem. We will still be friends. Okay. All right, this is a unique training. You will not find anything similar out there. So this is your opportunity to start studying phrasal verbs and understand all the logic behind phrasal verbs, so you will be able to understand and speak much better, okay? We have limited places in this course, so run 12 installments of 69 reais and 56 cents, okay? Don't miss this opportunity, because it's your opportunity to finally learn and understand all the phrasal verbs, okay? So guys, I think that's it, okay? The link for you to subscribe and buy the course is down below here in the description of the live, of the video, and I will leave it in the chat here. Let me fix the comment. Yep. Okay, so I fixed the comment with the link. Just click on the link. you will go to the payment page. All right, choose the best way of payment for you, and you can start the course today. All right, 69 reais, come on, it's less than a pizza a month, and you will have the opportunity to learn a lot about phrasal verbs. Okay, yeah, Manuel, that's it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's great. Okay, now I want to know, I want to hear your comments about what did you think about this, all this conversation here, all this live in English. Could you understand? Okay, because when people don't know about something they are learning for the first time, it's a little bit harder to understand if you're listening to the explanation in English, okay? But anyway, we have different levels here, people with different levels of English. Some people might be more comfortable, others might struggle to understand certain things. But anyway, as I said, it was a test, okay? And I want to know your opinions. Okay, so please leave your opinions down below, okay? Even negative opinions, okay? I really want to know what you think about this. Okay, if you didn't like, please say it, okay? I didn't like it, I didn't understand, no problem. Oh, that's great, Welton, you learned the difference between in and into. Okay. Okay. Well, guys, so that's it. Don't forget to leave me your comments and I will read them later, all right? It's lunchtime already. Almost, not quite yet. But I really have to go now and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, okay? And that's it. I'll see you around. Okay, bye-bye guys.